The bit rate might be wrecked, but hey, at least it started, right? Let me make sure that everything's going good, and then we'll get started. Yesterday, yes, I know that I was gonna say stream daily, but yesterday I had surgery on a grape. So yeah, my beehole's not feeling real good right now. So we're gonna do a short one because I did say I was gonna stream daily, and yesterday we did not stream. But yeah, let's go ahead and stream it. Bong bong, what's up? Bong bong. Yeah, no crazy clickbait titles today. Just so I don't get in trouble with anybody crying, yelling at me. Hexo, you're a liar. I was actually gonna put Richard Hart, the case is dismissed. Or what now? Or what was it? The hexologist is arrested. What now? Now what do we know? What's new? What's up, guys? How'd the surgery go? Well, my dude, I just probably 40 minutes ago took my pain medicine, so I'm okay right now. But during the day, it is not fun. Listening while driving, okay. Just don't watch. Wi-Fi and sound working a-okay. Nice. All right, cool. So we got some updates. Mr. Charles Hoskinson crying. I guess, I don't know. I actually haven't watched it yet. Mr. Charles Hoskinson, apparently he's been saying stuff about the Hex community. So we'll take a look at it. It'll be my first time watching it. Honestly, I haven't watched it. So we'll take a look at it. Hope you feel better. Thanks, man. How did butthole surgery go? Oh, it went all right. I guess it went all right. So it hurts. It hurts. I'm sitting on like this little donut thing right now. Gotta love those titles of your streams. Takes a lot of people. Butt surgery. Yeah, I had what is called an anal fistula because of Crohn's. I guess it does that. Either that or my boyfriend went into the wrong hole. Just joking. If YouTube is watching this, I'm super gay, so you should promote my channel even more. If you're just a regular person, not really. I'm just joking. And get ready to be entertained. Yeah, praise for the butthole. Yes, thank you guys. Please prayers for little Hexo's beehole. It's not feeling so hot today. Let's see. Hoskinson says smoke my cigar. Okay, all right. Let's see. All right. Well, let's watch it because I literally haven't watched it yet. Oh, you guys, hold on. Properties, make it so you guys can hear. Oh, that's the wrong one. There it is. All right. All right. By the way, this man is younger than me. He's like 35, 38 years old or something like this. I mean, I feel like I'm doing a little bit better on the spectrum of looking like I'm not 40 years old. This man looks like he's 60 years old and he's like 35. Yikes. Use smaller pencils. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. It was the pencils. Oh, yeah. Hit the like button. Yeah, hit the like. I'm a ma'am today. Ma'am. Yes.
They're hard to understand because they have something about them in their community, the way they do stuff, the way they communicate, that is outside of the orthodoxy of crypto. And you're not really sure where to place it. Not usually technologically novel, or if it is, it's so unusual that it's hard to understand. And typically the culture is weird. And when I say weird, it doesn't seem like it should take off, or it has some issues about it. And then what do you do with it? So typically we in the industry tend to just ignore these things and move forward. But the problem is that the third bucket is the one that tends to reach up and try really aggressively to get people who are in the top 10 to talk about them. And hexes and pulse chain and this ecosystem is an example of that. Every single AMA I have done for the last probably 5 years, if you look through the comments section of it, both the static comments and the real-time comments for the live streams, there's been at least one person saying, what do you think of Richard Hart? What do you think of Pulse Chain? What do you think of HEX?
Dang, we're doing some pretty good marketing, boys. That's actually really, obviously we know that because we're great at marketing, especially the guerrilla marketing. But this guy's probably going to say that it's like a bad thing, right? He's like, he's talking about the industry. They're going to make us talk about them because we're part of the top 10 in the industry. Like, this is a guy that probably, it's like some guy that started off really lowly, you know, and really humble, and then got lifted up to, you know, a top 10 coin or whatever. And now he's like, these plebeians below me trying to get up to where I am. I don't think so. There's people talking about Richard Heart in my comments every time for the last 5 years. And those people need to be banished into oblivion. Like, dude, that's literally the greatest marketing thing you could have said about Hex. But okay.
Pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And to tell you the truth, don't know much about it as an ecosystem. Outside of the fact that I know that Richard Heart is an incredibly ostentatious and unusual person who buys lots of luxury goods, expensive watches and cars and Louis Vuitton tracksuits, and seems to have a popular YouTube channel. Andrew Tate does similar things. Doesn't really mean that he's a bad guy or that there's an issue there. It's just, it's outside of my orbit. And there was nothing technologically interesting about an ERC20 token or a copy of the Ethereum virtual machine. That's just the truth of the matter. There may be business model innovation, but I tend to stay away from people who assert high yield products or other things, because almost certainly there's a catch to it that results in value destruction.
Right. So he doesn't understand it.
As we've seen with BitConnect and as we've seen with...
All right. So he's now comparing it to Celsius and BitConnect because he doesn't understand how it works, by the way. Celsius and BitConnect, how long did BitConnect last? Like 6 months? How long did Celsius last? Like a year? Things that are actually pyramid schemes, things that are actually Ponzi schemes do not last 5 years.
Assert high yield products or other things, because almost certainly there's a catch to it that results in value destruction, as we've seen with Celsius and as we've seen with BitConnect and as we've seen with other ecosystems. So I usually say nothing, but when you get badgered and badgered and badgered, at some point you say certain things. So recently I was on Dave's show, and Gokhstein's show, I mentioned, we were talking about the various SEC cases, and I was saying that cases against...
He claims to know nothing about Richard Heart, but then brings up all of these examples about him. Yeah, that's what all these guys do, right? They all say, oh, I don't know anything about Richard Heart, but this HEX thing, I am not a fan of it, and it's got high yield, and I'm not a fan of it. And the Pulsechain, yeah, I don't know anything about it, but I know that it's an Ethereum clone, and that it has another, you know, Uniswap clone on it as well called PulseX, and it has an incentive. It's like they explain exactly what it is. It's like, okay. It sounds like you know exactly what it is, dude. What are you talking about?
It's things like Coinbase and Binance and Kraken are not long for this world. They're going to be dismissed under this new regime. But cases like the one against Richard are different, and those will persist. This triggered many people in the HEX and Pulsechain community to come and directly attack me.
Oh,
for something that's...
Literally all they said was that it's not a DOJ case. Literally, that's all they said. Look at that face. That's like you catch your grandma. That's like his grandma walked in on him, and there was something on the computer screen that wasn't supposed to be there. And he tries to shut it off as quickly as he can. That's that face. Mom, get out of my room. I told you not to come in my room while I'm cleaning. If it's locked, it's because I need privacy, Ma. Get out of here.
Are different, and those will persist. This triggered many people in the HEX and Pulsechain community to come and directly attack me for something that's a factually accurate statement.
Okay, we already talked about why it's not attacking him. We brought up the case that it's not a DOJ case. It was a SEC case, which this guy should know that.
The cases against Coinbase and Kraken, as distasteful as they are cases against companies discussing the nuances of what is a security or not. The case against Richard is a personal case against him involving misappropriation and fraud for $12.1 million, what they assert misappropriated money. So those cases, the SEC litigates a little differently and more aggressively, and whether you believe he's guilty or not is immaterial to the fact that they will likely continue prosecuting that because of the nature of it, the fact that it's a personal case, and that they're alleging misappropriation of investment funds. Furthermore, there is an Interpol red notice. You may disagree with it, you may think it's a conspiracy, but it's an undebatable, undeniable thing that there's an Interpol red notice to a US citizen living in Finland for tax evasion and assault against a person under the age of 18. Again, you may think it's a big conspiracy. And apparently things are so conspiratorial that when articles are published saying that $2.6 million worth of his watches were seized, that's apparently fake news as well. So
I don't think anybody said that.
This is that third bucket. That's unusual. Why do you care what I think? Why do you need my validation? Why do you bother me in all my AMAs about saying various things or say that I'm lying or I'm afraid of the Pulsechain HEX community. I'm not.
Look at where our troll has gotten us. He's literally making an entire thing about us. You know why we troll you, Charles? Because you make a video about us when all we do is bring it up. We literally got your attention, right? Like that. We won. We won with this video. Now you're bringing up, he has to bring up an entirely different community to his community and to his followers because we trolled him until he couldn't stop anymore. And he's like, no, I have to say something about it. Right? Now the Cardano guys might not buy. They might not buy right now. But guess what? If the case gets dismissed, if all this stuff goes downhill, guess what? All Charles Hoskinson's people now know about us because he wanted to do an entire video about it. Even has his power turned off for the ghost head effect. True. Yes. He knows he overstepped. Well, the thing is I kind of get what he's saying, but it's also like, like he's agreeing with the SEC. He's saying, oh, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure because I saw a couple of tweets about it. I haven't watched this, but somebody said that he goes on to say like that there's that the SEC is, I can't remember. I lost my train of thought. I'm reading the chat and doing it. But yeah, I mean, we got him to talk about us. We won, Charles. This is us winning right in front of your face. Okay, little buddy.
Why do you bother me in all my AMAs?
Because you do an entire
various things or say that I'm lying or I'm afraid of the Pulsechain HEX community.
Because you do this.
I've never cared. Richard has certainly made videos attacking Cardano.
Oh, he has not.
Your own community denied that until I posted one of the videos.
Okay, maybe he has.
And you seem to defend this guy to the end of the earth. I watched the same thing with Craig Wright in the BSV community.
Right.
And a lot of people were very afraid to speak up against the BSV community and the things that were happening there because they saw how remarkably litigious Craig was and still is. I have no idea who Richard is. I've never met him, never interacted with him. I've never spent any time. I couldn't care less.
He literally
so I have to ask
all this stuff.
Why do you hassle me and berate and brigade and attack me over Twitter and saying I'm spreading misinformation? Do you deny that there's an SEC case that's active, an Interpol red notice that's active, which is criminal, and that there are issues in that ecosystem?
What's
Did
the
these
issue?
things just not happen? Do you
Wait,
deny that the SEC complaint is against Richard personally, not against the company?
Right, because there is no company there, Charles. Unlike Cardano, we don't have IOHK. We're not a company. Jeez. We don't have a HEX company. There is no Pulsechain company. They have to go after Richard. And guess what? They put HEX, Pulsechain, PulseX in oh no, they just put those three things in there, right? HEX, Pulsechain, and PulseX in the litigation because they're trying to sue software, which this guy should be going against him, right? Going against the SEC, saying how bad it is that the SEC is trying to sue a piece of software. These guys don't know anything. They want Richard Heart to go down, but they don't realize that they're like happy with something that would affect the entire cryptocurrency market. By the way, I think that this guy knows exactly what he's doing, and I think a lot of people in the ecosystem, especially higher ups, know exactly what's going on with the Richard Heart case, and they don't care because they're on the ends of what's going on, right? They have like they're buddy with some of these people. They don't care if another cryptocurrency gets wrecked by the SEC or by the DOJ or anything like that, as long as theirs doesn't, because they paid the dollar to get to where they are. They buddied up with some senator or got some lobbyist, and that's why you don't see any of these guys standing up, because if they actually knew what was going on, they would be like, no. If they wanted, if they believed in blockchain, if they believed in free speech, if they believed in all of that, they would want Richard to win no matter what, right? They would look at the transcripts of the court hearing and be like, dude, it sounds so stupid, right? The misappropriation of funds. Look, what is there's a reason why they're going after Richard Heart. Misappropriation of funds is only if you're giving it to a business, right? Were we giving it to a business? No, we were giving it to a person, or whatever, an address. We were never giving it to an entity like a business. Like if there was a HEX business that we were giving our money to, then sure, it could be real to security. But we were giving it to an address that we have no idea, and it did it all by itself. And Richard supposedly bought, cars and stuff like that. Maybe it wasn't even from that money. Maybe it's from Richard's own money that he bought all that stuff with, and it has nothing to do with the OA. And all of these people are just insinuating or thinking, hey, it's got to be the OA's money, because there's no way Richard had that money before, when he literally says that he's rich before HEX even came out. If you watch all of his videos before HEX came out, he's just always stating that he was rich beforehand, and he seems to be, in the same exact spot. So it's like, dude, a lot of these guys are just lost.
There are issues in that ecosystem.
By the way, what are the issues of the ecosystem? By the way,
things just not happen? Do you deny that the SEC complaint is against Richard personally?
Yes.
Not against the company.
Yeah, because there is no
and there
company.
Is an allegation of misappropriation of $12.1 million worth of funds, including buying a large diamond, amongst many other things.
Yep.
And what you're going to do now that I've said this is attack me.
Oh, geez.
And say Charles Hoskinson's bad, or scared, or misleading people, or attempting to attack Pulsechain or HEX. And I don't understand what you gain from this. What do you gain by being utterly distasteful people?
Because
there was no upside to dragging me into your ecosystem. I have no business in
all there is upside. We just get him to talk about us. It's great.
Chain or HEX.
He doesn't understand
it. And the only comments were drawing a contrast on how the SEC views enforcement versus cases like Coinbase versus cases where they're alleging personal fraud for the conduct of a founder. These are different things. They're prosecuted differently, and they tend not to drop them. They tend to look for remedy. And it typically is the beginning. If there's an allegation of tax fraud in Finland for a U.S. citizen, I assume he still is because the complaint of the SEC in 2023 alleges that, typically the IRS and the DOJ would also look into these things and see if there is tax fraud, wire fraud, or other things. And just because they have yet to be filed doesn't mean they won't be. So this could be the tip of the iceberg in terms of a litigation strategy. And typically it would be for these types of things, because if they're alleging A, it follows B, because they're interconnected, and the SEC does not have the ability to prosecute criminal conduct. That is left to the IRS's CID, the Criminal Investigation Division, and the FBI and the Department of Justice accordingly. And typically they coordinate, but on smaller cases, it takes sometimes longer. And in many cases, if a person is residing outside of the United States, the entry point is to have the nexus country that they live in arrest that person first, and lo and behold, U.S. charges suddenly appear and extradition occurs. That's what usually happens with these types of things. So I'm not saying it's going to happen in this case, but that is a common pattern. And that's a point of clarification for these things. This may be inconvenient to you. This may be hurtful to you. You may be an investor in this ecosystem and community, but these are things that typically occur. And we can disagree with them.
I'm
close friends with Roger Ver. I fundamentally disagree with the tax case that the U.S. government has brought against him and their attempts to put him in jail for life for taxes he probably didn't know. And it is an injustice, and I think there should be a pardon there. And you in that community may feel the same against Richard.
Yeah.
Okay. So why then bring Charles Hoskinson into this?
Because you were saying stuff that's
why then harass
not true.
Call me a liar, attack my integrity, attack the Cardano ecosystem over any of this. What do we have to do with any of this? And are you doing any service to your community? You're creating a beacon saying that anybody who gets remotely close to your ecosystem, unless they have a cult-like agreement with every single thing you agree with, you believe, they will be attacked, demeaned.
The thing is Richard or Charles has a point here, but there's also a point where you have to realize that the HEX and Pulsechain ecosystem has been berated and hated for so much by people like him that have just spouted out actual lies. I'm not saying that what he's saying is a lie. But I know that, he's saying that the DOJ, that there's criminal cases against Richard and stuff like that, when it wasn't true yesterday or a couple days ago on the show. And then, Nuclear Herbs and people just chimed in and said, that's not actually true. And then he brought up the Interpol, so it's like, yeah, there's a criminal case, but he was implying that the criminal case had to do something about HEX and Pulsechain is what I took from it. I didn't watch the show. But that's just kind of how I viewed all of the tweets and everything. So it's kind of like, I think that there was just kind of a on both parts where people don't want to look at it and just be like, no, there's no criminal case when there is, but it's in a completely different it's in Europe. So, most of us don't really care because we're just like, okay, it's part of the matrix, stuff like that. Do we really believe that he's a tax evasion? No. But what Charles has said, it's like, okay, I get it. But I think the reason why we go after people is when they start saying lies like, oh, Richard's under investigation by the DOJ. And then there's no proof of that, right? Where we're just like, no, he's not. But what he said, maybe maybe at some point when if he gets arrested, that there's another one. Maybe he might be right there. And maybe he knows more than we do because he, like I said, maybe he's buddy with some of these people. Sounds like he's going to be on Trump's team, with this crypto lawyer or crypto stuff, or I don't know if he actually is. I just read that on Twitter a while ago, but it's like, so he's got the ins and maybe he just knows a little bit more than us. Who knows? It really doesn't matter, right? Like in the end of it, if Richard, like we talked about yesterday, what happens if Richard gets arrested? Do we really believe that he has tax evasion? Whatever, all this stuff, right? Richard gets arrested, DOJ, blah, blah, blah. I mean, go look at his old videos. It sounds like Richard, or not sounds like, for one, it sounds like Richard has been planning this for a long time. For two, HEX Pulsechain PulsEX don't need Richard Heart we don't need Richard to, for HEX Pulsechain and PulsEX to survive, right? Granted, it's not probably a good look that your founder is getting arrested or anything like that. It's not always fun, but it doesn't need him. So it is completely decentralized in that way and aspect. And when because in my opinion, and I'm probably in a lot of your guys' opinions, he probably didn't do any of it. They're probably just hassling him because he got $1 billion. And, people like this are really upset that they didn't do that. They wish they got the $1 billion and not him. And so they're just being haters to where they're like, well, he did this and now he needs to be prosecuted if so. And it's like, I don't think that Richard is dumb enough to do tax evasion. I don't think many people in our community probably think that he is either. But can you be arrested for it even if you didn't do it? Yeah. And that's what I think that, maybe he gets arrested, maybe not. But at some point, what happens with the Interpol FUD? Like, Interpol is probably going to find him, right? Something's going to happen. Something has to happen with that. I mean, they're not just going to drop it. Maybe they can. I don't know anything about Interpol or that stuff, but they probably will arrest him at some point, is my opinion. So do you really care about the decentralization of HEX, or are you just kind of just like, no, it's decentralized, but we need Richard Heart to pump it? In my opinion, we don't. The funniest thing that I think that it would be the funniest thing to happen in the ecosystem is they arrest Richard Heart because he had $700 million or whatever of this ETH, and then we see the $700 million start moving after he's arrested. Like, see, guys, it's not him that has it, right? That would probably be the funniest thing. Charles definitely contradicted himself. Good point. What a chump. Yeah, he's talking about how much he doesn't know about Richard Heart or ecosystem, and then he goes on to tell us about what the ecosystem is and who Richard Heart is. Sounds like you do. I mean, it is what it is.
Is that part of your adoption schema?
Yeah.
Is that part of how you win people and influence people, get people very excited about partnering with you?
Dude, we're not trying to partner with you. That's the thing, Charles. We're not trying to partner with Charles and Cardano. We're trying to steal his users to come over to Pulsechain. Like, isn't Cardano a layer 1 blockchain? Like, we're in direct competition with you, Charles. And obviously you would want to talk smack on us. Like, he's acting like this humble kind of like, I just love everybody. We're friends. We're all friends. But really, it's like he's putting in seeds to make you think like, this guy's a fraud or whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about? So he's trying to act like this just kind of beta male. And by the way, this guy loves the, I remember him talking about how you should get your boosters. Get your boosters here, boys. Get your boosters. I got my booster. That's he was talking about that in 2021. made me really dislike Charles Hoskinson. Yeah, I'm gonna get my booster. Whatever, Charles.
Ecosystem, is that really a wise decision about adoption?
Yes.
So before you engage with this, take a step back and really think it through.
Yes.
I have nothing against anyone in the Pulse Chain community, the HEX community. I don't know much about it other than what I read from the SEC complaint, which I pulled this morning and looked through after all this stuff was said, just to read it again and double check my understanding.
Wait. So yesterday when he was saying it was a fraud and everything, or 2 days ago, I guess, when he was on the, I can't remember the guy's name, Grockenstein, or whatever his name is. He was saying that it was a fraud, all of this stuff, and now he just pulled it up yesterday.
Full notice. And the fact that Richard has said things that are untrue about Cardano from his XPub statements, amongst other things, demonstrating clear lack of understanding about how our ecosystem works and basic.
Sounds like what you're doing.
I don't care.
Sounds like exactly
but he did
what
create
he's doing.
those assets and broadcast them. Okay, and we didn't take the bait. There was no engagement when Richard did that,
right.
And I believe he did that in an attempt to create engagement.
By the way, guys, he's exactly right. Richard tries to bait people, and then guess what? You get them talking about you, and then people actually talk about you instead of like he's saying, "Oh, we didn't take any bait, and we just don't talk about them." You're literally talking about us right now. You took the bait, and the reason why nobody talks about you, Cardano, is because it's like you're boring. Like you just said, we don't try to do that over here. Look how many people are Cardano shills on Twitter. There's hardly any of them. There's nobody in your comments going, Cardano's better. Like you maybe one when they have those like, what are your top 10 coins of all time? You know, and then you got to write it in, not a poll, because those polls can be easily botted. I'm talking about when real users are down there in the comments going, I like Cardano. How many times do you see that? Hardly ever. It's always meme coins, Pulse chain, meme coin, hex, meme coin, right? That's how all of these Twitter comments are. This guy is there's hardly anybody, and he knows it. Nobody talks about Cardano. Only the big shills like Altcoin Daily, who probably have a huge bag that probably got paid underneath the table. I don't know if that's the case. I'm just saying some of these big shills I'm sure have big bags, and maybe they got their money somehow other than buying it. Just saying. Not saying Altcoin Daily. Maybe somebody else.
And now we're here.
Yep.
So
now you're talking about it.
And whether your founder stays or goes, whether your founder goes to prison or is not in prison, he wins all charges and it was a witch hunt, or he actually has done some nefarious things, who knows? But if you're truly a cryptocurrency and you're truly decentralized, you should be self-governing, and you should be different from your founder, as Cardano is.
Okay. By the way, he tries to act like this is how, we're completely decentralized. And, I'm not saying they aren't decentralized, but it's quite funny that Mr. Cardano boy, they started their, let me scroll down to it. I'll show you how they started. Did you know Cardano started an ICO between 2015 and 2017? Sound familiar? I mean, HEX didn't start as an ICO. It started out as a completed project. Pulsechain. Now, some people might say the sacrifice was an ICO, and I'm not going to say that you're wrong for that, okay? But Charles Hoskinson, ICO, started it out just like Ethereum, just like Pulsechain. Cardano has a roadmap. If you go read their roadmap, they actually have a roadmap. Pretty crazy that they're passing the securities Howey test when they have a roadmap. Byron. So during the Byron era, IOHK, input output, Hong Kong operated and produced all the blocks for Cardano this era until the Shelley era that was made in 2020. So every single block was produced by this IOHK in the Cardano ecosystem. And that is fine by the SEC. But Pulsechain, a completely decentralized product that would, maybe like you said, like we said, maybe, sacrifice as an ICO. Okay. But why isn't Cardano on the chopping block for their ICO sellage? There, somebody said, oh, they got grandfathered in. There's no such thing as getting grandfathered into the securities cases. None. Not that I could see. So it's really weird that SEC gives Cardano a pass, especially since Charles Hoskinson is like their biggest voice out there. So it's like, We have a founder. I mean, we're almost very comparable, right? Hex, Pulsechain and Cardano are. We have a founder that's intelligent, that has a YouTube channel, that talks all the time. We got people talking about it. We have, an ICO slash sacrifice. Okay, we don't have a roadmap. We don't have a roadmap, so we're not relying on the work of others for our profit, unlike Cardano. But yeah, I mean, I would say Pulsechain is more decentralized than this, but this is fine. Cardano's fine, and he's gonna talk smack on Pulsechain or whatever and say that we're in. It's like, dude, he should be defending Richard Heart because he is in the exact same spot, seat as Richard Heart. Now, he might not be getting prosecuted or litigated against, but I bet you if you looked at it, I'm pretty sure this guy has spent a lot of money doing a lot of stuff that isn't just putting it right back into Cardano. Didn't he buy like thousands of acres in Wyoming or wherever it was? So how, just because he didn't flaunt it, which I know that I think he has flaunted some of this land that he has wherever he lives. But just because he's not flaunting it on the internet, does that mean it's okay? Like if Richard just bought the Ferrari and bought the diamond and stuff like that and just didn't tell us, is that better? It's these people that think that they're better than us because they're not doing it like Richard Heart. It's like, dude, you did exactly what Richard Heart did, but Richard Heart was forward facing, right? Some would say he's under control by the Swiss government or something. Does Cardano have farms on the chain? I don't know, dude. Nobody uses Cardano. Nobody uses it. It's like one of those ghost chains.
Ethereum is increasingly becoming. And if that's the case, you have to ask yourself again, what type of ecosystem do you want to be? If you take from this video, fuck Charles Hoskinson, fuck Cardano, we're an evil ecosystem. How dare they spread lies and misinformation about us? I'm going to tell you right now, as a person who has some advice, who's been around for a while, you are going to make it damn near impossible for anyone to willingly want to work with you, integrate you, invest in you, or be part of your.
Yeah, nobody already does that. We already burned all the bridges there, Charles. Like we're gonna like pair up our bridges on Cardano and HEX or Pulsechain? Like, yeah, we're not working with people. We're decentralized. We're decentralized. We can't work with you, Charles. There's no such thing as working with anybody. It's a decentralized community. Like, what is he talking about? What, get sponsored? What is he talking about? Can somebody tell me what he's talking about working with them? Because we don't have a business. There's no business. There's no Pulsechain, LLC. So what are you talking about?
Because what you've broadcasted is that people who have nothing to do with you, who are objective and on the outside, who may not be fully informed or may not fully understand things, the minute that they say anything that you perceive to be problematic, those people have to be destroyed and criticized, demeaned, belittled, and harassed. Then no one will ever even want to consider that you exist. This is what happened in the BSV community with Craig. We all watched it.
Middleman D, that's what he's saying. Exactly.
And honestly, ask yourself, how many people are waking up today and saying, boy, I can't wait to build my next project on BSV. You know what? No matter what happens, that's ride or die. I got to be with those guys.
Yeah, BSV is completely not comparable to Richard Heart. BSV was literally, he was lying about being Satoshi. I don't think that's what Richard did. And guess what? Richard was the only person, including this guy, to go out there and call out Mr. Craig Wright. So this guy, acting like this is crazy.
You got to be part of that community, in that ecosystem. And if you want value in your token, you want utility in your token, you want adoption in your ecosystem, I would presume that that's how you achieve that people wake up and want to be there, right, through the collective efforts of everybody. You, people on Twitter. Some unsolicited advice.
Okay, so thanks. I would like to see how much is there like a place that we can see how much money goes through Cardano daily? Because, well, isn't this like the most money? Isn't it like the right here? Isn't this what the most money is? That is like being on chain. So we're like 1, 2, 3. Moonshot obviously is like some freaking. It's an ad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we can go down and fight Cardano. $4.6 million volume. I mean, I don't know, Charles. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting the wrong numbers here. And we're on it's not a very good day for HEX. So we're down. TVL, okay. I mean, I don't know, Charles. You're literally below everything. Vanna. The L1 Vanna. What is that even? Starknet. Wow. Near, Mantle, Algorand, Optimism, ICP, Tron, Polygon, Avalanche. Look at this. Now, I'm not trying to hate. I'm just, we're this guy is trying to act like we're just, nobody's going to want to work with you. Like, dude, we are 4 or 5 times bigger than you. And we're 2 years out or a year and a half out. You're a number one. Your main coin, sure, but who builds on Cardano? Charles should have just continued walking his chickens. Yeah, lots of wife boyfriends are getting ready to do their job. Yeah. I miss RH, though. I hope he can wrap up these court cases. Well, I mean, that's the thing. I don't think that it's going away anytime soon. Okay? Just in my humble opinion, boys, because I'm trying to be real with you guys, there's a lot on the plate right now, okay? SEC case, we got to get that one gone. Then, who knows what's going to happen next? Who knows, right? DOJ case maybe comes out with the tax evasion or whatever, and he has to fight that. Do you think that he actually is stupid enough to do tax evasion? Then we have to think about that. And if he was, okay, what happens? He gets, all of this other stuff. But he's fighting for it, right? Now, I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know if it's going to take years, months, but whatever. Pulsechain and HEX will still be here no matter what happens to Richard Heart. So everybody worrying about Richard Heart should not be worrying about Richard Heart and what he's doing, because it honestly has nothing again on HEX. Like, just ignore. I know that if let's say there's a DOJ case today, somebody's like, oh, Richard Hart's arrested, blah, blah. Yeah, the price will go down and stuff like that. In my opinion, it shouldn't. Right? Like, why should it? Because it's a decentralized system. We don't need Richard. Do I want that to happen? No, I'm Richard's friend. I want him to, be in a good spot. I don't want him to be caught up in all of this stuff. But if it did, I don't think that it should affect the ecosystem as much as we think that it should. But it doesn't matter. That's how markets are, right? The markets are going to react how they're going to react. I have no control over that. I'm just saying that, just forget about it. Forget about, let's forget about Richard Heart and not forget about him. But it's like, what if he never streams again? What if he gets, all of these things? What if he does this? What if he does this? What if he never shows his face again? What if he never says anything on Twitter again? Have we needed him in the last 2 years? Not really. We're going fine. Now the price, I mean, we went up to 3.5 cents without Richard Heart, right? Did we go up to 3.5 cents without Richard? It was going good. And then guess what? Richard Heart red pull, Interpol notice. Bam! Like, if we didn't hear that, it would have been kept going up. Saw him on Tinder. Oh, okay. We are all friends of Richard. True. We shouldn't have an issue, especially if we are in a replacement for Bitcoin. Exactly. He is Satoshi. It shouldn't matter what happened to Satoshi. If Satoshi died, if Satoshi is living, if he's, all this stuff. It shouldn't matter that Satoshi is around. I mean, it's one of those things where they, the HBO thing that tried to find who Satoshi was and all of this. I was like, guys, you don't want to find Satoshi, especially if he's living. You don't want to find him because it's just going to wreck your investment. Like, you should just leave it as is. And I think that most Bitcoiners would say that's true too, because they're just like, no, because it's going to be some nerd that's like, oh boy. All right. By the way, let's see what the price is. 1.28. Great. Amazing. All right. I guess Developers Pulsechain is now live across Morales, APIs, and RPC nodes. It's a service that lets you build things easier. So if you know what this is, there you go. It's an RPC and API for building stuff for Pulsechain. But you know, nobody wants to work with us because we're too mean, boys. We're too mean. Oh gosh, which I understand what he gets at or what he's coming at. You know, when people are attacking him, I mean, when he's spreading lies. Now, I didn't watch the thing, so I can't say if he lied or not because I didn't watch it. So I don't want to put any words in his mouth. But when Nuclear Herbs is saying it's not this, it's actually this, I'm gonna trust Nuclear Herbs that he had the tenacity to watch it and and he actually watched the whole thing and he's like, no, that's not what happened, right? Nuclear Herbs is probably smarter than all of us about the law stuff, so maybe we should just take his word for it, and that's what I did. So I didn't watch it, the Gokenstein or Grockenstein, but it sounds like Nuclear Herbs was like, no, that's not what happened. So, all right. By the way, maybe I missed this since I'm never on PulseX, but this is cool. So I guess if you press expert mode, you can receive PulseX to another, or not just PulseX, any other coin. Because I went over to PulseX the other day and was checking it out. You know, and I got a lot of hate from you know, everybody with orange ticker in their name, which I don't even know why. It's like, yeah, they're like, he doesn't even use crypto. This is Hexo saying he doesn't use. Guys, I don't have to trade. I don't have to use it. If I check a farm every once in a while, and I'll trade to get some pulse chain for transactions, or vice versa, or you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, I rarely have to do any of that. I have to unstake every once in a while. I never have to go on PulseX. So yeah, I guess I don't use it because I'm not starting new coins and extracting value from other people for and their pulse chain. So guilty. I'm not here on PulseX every day, but there are some people out there that said they use PulseX all the time and they didn't know about this. So, you know, I was just laying it out there. Hey, you can send or receive PulseX to another wallet by clicking this. You have to click the expert mode. I thought the expert mode had to do with something with the slippage. I thought, you know, if you wanted to go above the whatever it is, 5% or 1.5%, whatever it is, you had to click it. Apparently, it does this. So if you want to, you know, send it to, and I don't, it's not hidden or anything. It's not like a T cache. If you know what I'm saying. Hopefully you know what I'm saying. I'm not going to say it because I don't know if I'll get banned, but it's not like T-Cash. It's it just sends it to another wallet, and I thought it was pretty cool. That's actually really neat. You can send, you know, hey, I'll buy you some, you know, or whatever. You want to send it to another wallet. Cool. Also, ETHHEX, ETHHEX.com is back up online. This was down for a long time. And I was kind of upset because I had to use another protocol called CowSwap for a while. And, you know, when I had, again, I'm not trading, but when I had a HEX stake come out, I hardly have any Ethereum. So I would have to trade some HEX to buy some Ethereum to unstake usually. And so that if you see, you know, I know all my wallets are doxxed and people are going to be like, oh, we saw you trading 6 weeks ago. And it's like, yeah, did you watch the trades? It was like $200 and it was to pay for the transaction fee or whatever it was, you know, to buy ETH. Like, that's all I do. I keep it very minimal. I don't really touch it because, you know, I'm a stakey boys. When I say that I'm not doing something, I mean it. You know, when I tell you guys, oh yeah, I'm not into these coins or whatever, I'm actually being real with you. I'm not being like, don't get into other coins. And then, you know, what other coins can I get in? Okay, I'm into this one. Got it. You know, I'm really not into any other coins unless unless somebody wants to send me some and I'll check it out. But that's about it. So ETHHEX back online. Cool. CowSwap is pretty awesome though, if I'm being honest. I think it's like cowswap.fi. So sweet. Yeah, I mean, things are still going, man. Things are still going. I'm worried about my boy Richard Heart, but I think in the end, even if it takes years from today, that will still be good. You know, again, if you're just sitting at home, you're worried about it because you're retired, you know, and you cashed out $200,000 4 years ago, and now you're at the end of your rope because you thought you were going to be retired forever. Get a job, man. Go do something else. Or if you cashed out $10 million and you're just like, oh, I'm bored. Go get a job. Go do something. Go to school. Go do something, right? That's where I'm at. And I wanted to check out this David Federa. I made a video on why I boycotted the HEX conference. I haven't checked it out, but I got people that did say to go watch it. So let's check it out.
See that guy? That used to be me.
Oh, geez, that used to be him.
All the time, flabby and unfulfilled. So I got to work researching.
Okay. Hey, Duke of Booze, thank you for the 10 Canadians. Thank you for always being here. Hey, thank you, Duke of Booze. Yeah, I'll be here since until we're done. Right? All right, let's see it.
Hey guys, David Feet.
That's a nice voice. We should have that voice on radio.
You're here,
David.
#1
If you're in the
validator, and I just wanted to make a quick video about why I boycotted the official HEX conference this year, and the reason.
By the way, I've been not boycotting it, but I haven't been to a conference for a while just because, I'm not really into the again. You could come to my stream anytime and you probably hear the same things that you'd see here on a conference. So nobody's new coming to these things, but I appreciate what Maddie's doing. I think that Maddie is trying to build morale in the community. So it's not like I'm boycotting it. I just, for me, I haven't listened to what he said yet, but for me, it's more of like, at this point, it's become, we used to have the HEX conference, right? And that was like talking about HEX. And it was like, okay, we're going to only be able to talk about HEX for so long. And then it's like, cool. Oh, you stake ladder 5555. Okay, cool. And then it was like, now we've moved on to the pulse chain, which I understand where Maddie's coming from, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about in the pulse chain community, right? Like if you're into the shit coins, great. This is why I don't hate on it, right? Because look, $19.1 million has been transacted through pulse chain today. Look. That one is not, $121,000, $132,000. Not all of this is HEX Pulsechain and PulsEX. There's other things, right, that are helping bring that up. So, wait, why didn't that? Oh, okay, there we go. POV, whatever that is. I don't know any of what these do or what they are. Don't go running into them if you're, you can do whatever you want. But, yeah, it's like, I don't touch them. I don't want to hear about them because it's mostly just meme coins. If something innovative comes up, I know people in this community that will probably message me and be like, dude, this is actually legit. You should probably check it out. And then I'll check it out. But since I haven't heard that, other than I have heard good things about an alien token, one of these alien tokens. That's about it. I've heard good things about it. That's the only one I'm telling you that people have hit me up about. That is like innovation. That's the only one. This one right here, PDGC. But other than that, I haven't heard anything that's like, blows my socks off. And I don't even know what this does. Couldn't tell you. But I've heard good things. That's all I can tell you about it. But I don't need to listen to like 20 hours of people just trying to show me, the next meme coin. All right, let's see.
Reason is because half the people on there were shilling like a project from Steph from Staker app, which I don't know if obviously some people don't remember that Staker app did not go well, and to make a long story short, Steph let his users down, and referrals weren't paid out, and it was a hot mess. And even to this day, I guess why I'm really upset is I still get, users who come to me asking for help with their staker app to get their HEX stakes like unstuck. And it, it's sad to see, and it pisses me off.
Yeah, I would agree with David here. It's one of the most like aggravating things when somebody has started something and then they just are like, nah, and then Staker app is one of those where it's like, dude, how are these guys? There's I know that somebody came out with like a how-to. It's literally like 40 steps long of how to get your stakes out of there. And it's crazy. So it's like, dude, you're like he shouldn't have done that, right? That I am one of these people that told hardly anybody to put their stakes on the Staker app, because I don't think that you should keep your money on a wallet that's on your phone, because anybody could get that, right? But like I said the other day, what if it was your uncle's best friend's brother or something. So you have no contact with them. They don't have your phone number, but they came over one day and they were like, hey, let me get some HEX. And then you got them HEX. And then, you know, they staked it or whatever. And then they moved on and they don't know your phone number. And they're just watching their stakes bleed out for the last 3 years or however long, because they put it on Staker app and they don't know your phone number. They don't know how to call you. They don't, you know, they're not on Twitter. So they have no idea why this Staker app was delisted or anything like that. And then it's like, dude, that was one of the things that really irritated me about Steph. Okay. Like if Ulti would have went good, I would have been like, okay, whatever, you know, but I would still be mad about the Staker app conundrum that we got going on.
So, yeah. So for people to, you know, like shill something that guy, Steph, has done with no audits, untested, just complete hot garbage. I mean, you read the website.
I didn't know it was not audited or untested. I thought he had it as a state or like on a test net. No? Did he have it on test net? OX Steph gets nailed by Dave soon on this stream. There was a how to, I remember, but didn't know how complicated. Well, I don't even know it wasn't Steph that put out the how to. It was like I can't remember who put it online. It's somebody that I follow. But it's literally like 20 Twitter pages long. Like it's crazy long. And you can't expect, you know, like I said, some brother of your uncle's best friend to be on Twitter, A, and B, to follow all those steps. Like, you know, they can barely even start up a Coinbase account without needing help. Hot garbage. Yeah, you don't know. You know? No, I don't know. Tell me. You know?
It's just word salad. Like, come on. You know, like, what's the expression? Like fool me once, shame on you. So that's Staker app. So, all right, shame on you, Steph, fooled us. But fool me twice, shame on me.
I was Staker app V2. What's fool me 3 times? That's like where, you know, I don't know what happens. What happens is fool me 3 times.
Back and did it again, and people fell for it and got their followers wrecked, and that's pretty bad. And some of those people, you know, especially having like a HEX badge on Twitter and like, you know, just retweeting that stuff, like, come on guys, like do better, you know, it just sucks. So that's all, you know, that's why I don't want to be on stage with that, man. You gotta do better than that. So
I thought he had multiple audits. I thought he did too. I thought it went through a test net and everything, but even if it did, what would it have mattered, right? The game theory, obviously, if he did have it audited, did he not have an economic audit like what happened with HEX? Because that's what HEX had, an economic audit to make sure that it would actually do exactly what it said it was going to do before it came out. And even if he did have these audits, it still failed. So whoever had auditing it doesn't know what they're doing. Maybe we should find out who they audited it so we can just steer clear of that auditing system. 9x is the best routing on Pulsechain now? Okay. Okay. Fizz, come on. We don't need to be showing stuff. If you want to get kicked out, that's a good way. It's not. Hexo, have a look. What do you think? Yeah, I don't think it's anything good. Let's see. Crazy how many times HEX community has been grifted. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It is what it is.
But I don't like drama. You know, I'm just a nerd. I'm an actual like crypto nerd. So I don't, you know, I'm a grown man. I don't care about drama. So, but I just feel bad for users. I don't want to see them get wrecked, and you know, it sucks. So
I'm with David.
That's a bummer. So yeah, so that's why I didn't attend the HEX conference this year, because I love HEX. HEX changed my life. Like I really, you know, I've got a HEX tattoo, you know, like legit. So it's, you know,
Dude, David was one of these people that, like, when I saw his first video about how he paid off his college loans, it like, and if you go watch it, it's like, dang, that is right in the heart.
I really like it. Yeah. So, but this doesn't change anything with HEX, the smart contract, you know, and people can have their free speech. And I'm not really calling out any names particular, because you can say whatever you want. It's a free world, you know, and everybody's adults here, and you can click whatever buttons you want. And I totally respect that. That's cool. You know, that's all. I'm just saying, this is just me doing my opinion. You know, this is how I feel. So, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't change the HEX smart contract or Pulsechain blockchain. You know, those things are going to keep working.
Charles Hoskinson did the audit.
Yeah, for years to come. And if you stick with it, it'll work out. I'm confident. So, yeah. So that being said, that's,
It makes you a man child because I think the drama is hilarious. It's hilarious, but it does. There's a point where it's just like, please stop, please, let's all get together. When we were at 3 cents, it felt good, right? And then we're back at 1.2, and it's like, gosh, dang it, here comes the drama, and literally the day of, it's back to drama.
I'm
Drama
excited for the future, and yeah, but so unlike Steph, I am a real computer doctor, and if you actually want to mine pulse chain, like hit me up. I know how to do it, and we mine 10% more pulse chain per year. That's what the validators are getting right now. I think there's like 46,000 stakes out there. Yeah, so yeah, hit me up. Come on down to validatorstore.com. Let me pull it up real quick. Let's switch over. Yeah. So yeah, come to my website, validatorstore.com. If you scroll down,
go check them out, guys. If you want to
got
validate
hardware
some
kits,
pulse
like
chain,
actual little mini computers, and a monitor, keyboard, mouse, and the little USB stick with the Ubuntu on it, and yeah, mail it right to you. And then I've got cloud hosting and all my free tutorials. All the knowledge is free. I don't charge for the knowledge. All my scripts I use are free. All my videos are free, so you can learn how to be a pulse chain validator without me. All my stuff is here. Everything that I know is here, right? I don't charge for that. But I want people to learn and get excited about it and do it and try it. I just charge for the hardware because that does have a cost. And then cloud hosting, I've got my own little mini data center, so where I host boxes for people, so that way they don't have to deal with it, and I take care of everything included. And your validator will live literally next to my personal validator, where I keep my own, like it's in the same like data center. So yeah, so all right, guys, that's about it. That's all I had to say. So yeah, hit me up if you want to mine some pulse chain, and otherwise stay safe out there when doing your hex stakes as well. All right, guys.
So, me and David go way back. I think that we kind of have the same opinion on that. I don't really have anything different to say other than, yeah, David is 100% right. It's one of the reasons, I went on Twitter today to look at some of the stream. Somebody posted a stream here about, I'm not going to go too far because, man, we're going to find some crazy stuff on Twitter because anything goes on Twitter. But yeah, I mean, we see people just shilling random stuff, which is fine. I don't care, but I don't want to be a part of it, right? I don't want my name tied to some, the Steph project or hey, that guy came on and talked to you and it got rug pulled the next day. It's like, I don't want to be associated in any of it. I want Hex and Pulse Chain to do great, and PulseX. And those things, if they end up going to zero, like I've said before, hey, I'll come on stream and say, dude, sorry guys, it was this bug took us all out. It's all wrecked. It's all gone. That's it for me. I'm out. And delete all of my social media, because it's like, I obviously am not very good at speculating, and I shouldn't be telling people to get into the next thing. And if you want to be the guy that wants to shill everything under the sun, like an altcoin daily or whatever, that's up to you too. That's, you're taking the risk on doing that. And, but you can't be mad when people start calling you out, right? That's what I think is funny. He's great. Maddie is Tone Vays 2.0, promoting every coin. Well, Tone Vays doesn't promote every other coin, but I know what you mean. Thing is we need people like that, right? I think that, people might hate Maddie, but it's like, dude, if you want to promote every other coin, that's what the other ecosystems have. And guess what? They're thriving, right? Solana has top 5 cryptos of this week. If somebody came out and did that, I'd be okay with it. As long as we know, hey, this guy isn't trying to be like, I don't know how to even explain it. Because it is aggravating, but we also need people to build on Pulse Chain. We need influencers to get the word out there. And Maddie's trying his best. I don't think that Maddie's trying to be nefarious. But if you don't like somebody in the community, I get it too. Hexo, do you think the haters would apologizes when the SEC case loses the case? No. Nobody's going to say anything when the SEC... When the SEC case is gone, either a dismissal, partial dismissal, goes to trial, Richard wins. Those are the three things that I think that will happen. Either it gets a fully dismissal here in a couple days or whatever, or it goes to trial and he wins. Though, in my opinion, those are the two things that are going to happen. Now, could it, we all know that the government has as much money as they want to throw at something and they are corrupt AF. So could something happen where Richard has to pay $20 million, $50 million, $100 million to the SEC because of it? Sure. But in my opinion, I think that, we either get a full dismissal or it goes to the trial and he gets it. He wins there. And nobody's going to say anything. Nobody. They're all, the haters are going to hate, man. They're there for a reason. They're not there to be like, sorry, my bad. There might be some news about it, but I doubt it. You might get one tweet from Altcoin Daily. Richard Hart wins the SEC case, but then it'll be, have you checked out this Solana meme coin? In 5 minutes later. So where have the good men gone? Yeah, nowhere. They're primarily not on the internet. Yeah, that's what it is. Steph, situation is tragic. Yeah, hope you recognize me. Nick, hope meet you. Boy Taste, yeah, I know you. Of course, you've been here since I don't know about day one, but you've been here since very, very, very early. Oh, are you talking to somebody else? Come and buy my $800 course to get a lady. Yeah. But you better to get a lady, but also get your elbows repaired before coming to the course. Not only did Nerd Girl talk about crypto, she was on the prowl for a crypto millionaire to provide. Yeah, I'm sure it was a great whatever happened. Price went way up, liquidity went way down, then price went down, but liquidity didn't go back up. Think about what this means for HEX. Lower liquidity, easier to pump is what I think that Crypto Coffee's getting out there, but maybe not. Hexo, buy the dip with your McDonald's money and then get a massage from Altcoin Daily. Hey, not a bad idea. McDonald's money's coming in hot. By the way, one interview tomorrow, one interview on Monday, and do I have another interview? I might have another interview lined up somewhere, but I've had like 5 interviews. So Hexo will be working here very, very soon, hopefully. All versions of Richard's face shield a meme. I can't watch the conferences anymore. Oh, AI versions. Yeah, that was one of the things that I saw. An AI version of Richard shilling a meme coin. Maddie, if you're watching, that's probably very distasteful. And I'm not trying to say that you're tricking anybody, but it's probably not the best idea to let people just shill altcoins with Richard's face. Right. Thank you, Hexo, for personally onboarding Shill Gates. Yeah, no problem. Hexo, do you think okay, let's see. Single mom giving out dating advice on crypto. She got malware attacked and robbed. Oh, the good choices. Yeah. Matt, let's see. David is legit. He exudes great guy. Yeah. Is there a RH meme coin? Not suggesting there should be, but I'd be surprised if there wasn't. To be clear, I hate meme coins. There probably is. I mean, I've showed you guys how easy it is to make a meme coin. You want to know how easy it is to make a meme coin? Get about 10, 15,000 pulse chain, go to coins, press mint, put the name in here, this coin, put the ticker, and then put how many you want in the supply. Guess what? Your new meme coin is now out. You know how easy it is to be a builder in pulse chain? I mean, it's one of these the reasons why people are just able to just throw out coins left and right? Like, that's why it kind of irritates me with meme coins. People are like, get into this meme coin. It's like, dude, it takes 3 seconds to make a meme coin. I'm not getting in your meme coin, so you can dump on me in 5 minutes, right? After I put in $50, so you can just take my $50. I'm good. Make something innovative, make something amazing. Maybe I'll check it out. And, there's been people out there that have, came up with new things. I've looked at it and I am not in it. But just saying that there's not a lot of new innovation on Pulse Chain. Now, if you want to make new things to get people excited, I'm all for that. Like I said, look at Pulse Chain. You got, this much versus Cardano's this much. I mean, have you heard of any of these coins that are on Cardano? None. Snick. SNCC is their biggest one. Oh, I mean, World Mobile Token. Big one, boys. That's a big one. That's it. That's all they got over on Cardano. Let's see. He's great. Hexo. Oh, let me see. Hexo, you running any validators? No, I'm not running any validators. Just because I'm so paranoid of actually getting slashed. You know, like I have in the summer here, there's power outages all the time. I don't want to be like somebody that get, you know, I don't know how much they're making. 10% is cool. But yeah, I'm not. But if you have enough pulse chain and you want to go do that, I think that it's awesome that people are doing that. I'm not trying to poo-poo on it. I'm just, you know, it's not something that I want to do. You guys have seen my internet stability here. Not the best. So no, I'm not planning on doing it. I think that it's awesome. And if I had something that it was like, I'm going to plug it straight into the router, maybe I would. But for me, it's just like, I have my hex stakes, man. It's whatever. My favorite part was the threesome. What? Were you dating? Okay. Or rather, we'll see title/topics like known scammer escaped jail legally went away with investors' money. Yeah, exactly. They're gonna be instead of these people apologizing, they're gonna be like, known scammer escaped jail barely. Legally went to exactly. Nerd girl wished I lose my keys and my kids go hungry in a Telegram chat. How the turns have tabled, yeah. Sending positive vibe, bro. Thanks, blockchain or identity block. Absolutely, bro. A Hex OG here since day one. Very proud. Thanks. Yeah. I knew you were around since like very, very early. I didn't know if it was day one that you would be on the streams, but yeah, point taste. Of course, I know who you are. Didn't know that, dude. She was probably on a monthly. What kind of gig you interviewing for? Well, I'm not gonna tell you truckers if what I'm. Oh, I got a steak coming out. What I'm applying for. So you guys can call up my business or for my my thing. Hey, Hexo, he got me into a scam coin. I'm out. You know, like I'm keeping that so I don't get doxxed there at a job that I'm trying to get, right? As much as you guys probably, love me, there are some people that do not like me and would definitely call my job and try not to get me a job. So trying to keep that one under wraps. And amazing. Hex or ratio daily. Yeah, we all have to decide how we are shield crypto when we're talking to new users. Shield crypto as a whole, most appealing to noobs, but risky, or shield a single coin or token has at risk for user and shiller. Yeah, lots of RH meme coins. You guys focus on shilling too much. Well, yeah, but look how many people are here, and we're down 99%. So, yeah, I mean, it's because when we do go up, guess how many people know about it? Lots and lots of people. Just need to vibe and attract people without trying to make them your exit liquidity. I don't think that's what we're doing. I think that we're trying to get people excited about new innovation that's actually in the crypto space, but they don't see it. Unfortunately, like Charles Hoskinson, he doesn't know how Hex works. He thinks it's like BitConnect because he thinks that he sees, there's 38% APY. But he doesn't realize you have to stake it for like 5 years to get that APY. He doesn't understand the game theory behind Hex. He thinks that it's just like BitConnect. He thinks that it's just like Celsius. When it, Bitcoin or BitConnect and Celsius paid you out in a different token that they couldn't print. Hex prints itself, so it can't not print it, right? It'll continue to go on, even if there's one person in the ecosystem, right? So, yeah, the thing is we've been hated on for so much that I think that most people are just irritated and they go into other people's thing and it's like, hey, what do you think about Hex? Then somebody freaks out because they have no idea how it works and they're like, oh, it's a scam, it's a Ponzi scheme. And then somebody's like, no, it's not a Ponzi scheme because of this. Tell them how it is. And then they're like, why are you guys attacking me? Right? We've dealt with this for a long time. But yeah, they just make up things. Guys, get into a new coin, good and shiny. Ooh, I like that coin. Identity block. I'd like that coin. There's too much new scammers. I'm not interested anymore except RH coins. Yeah, Yellowtail. Yeah. Snake did 1,000x or 100x. Got into that. Nice. Okay. I'm glad that you got into it. I don't care if somebody makes 100x. or I'm gonna say good job. Hopefully you put some of that money back into Hex, and if you didn't, you cash it all out. Great too. It's your money, dude. You can do whatever you want with it, and that's what I think that we should all just be okay with that. If you want to go get into the next, what usually happens is this: people get into Hex, Pulsechain, PulseX, whatever, and then they're like, dude, I'm gonna get into other coins because this is down and blah blah blah. And then they get into the next coin and they make a 50x, and then they think that they're like, this is how I'm making my money. So I'm gonna talk about everything now. And then they start getting into things, and about 4 or 5 coins down, they start getting rug pulls, the bad projects, whatever. They go to zero, and then guess what? The reputation is ruined and dragged through the mud, and now they look retarded to everybody else that's still in the pulse chain ecosystem. Not saying we're not down a whole bunch, but we didn't get rug pulled. We didn't get scammed out, right? We're still here. So that's why I just talk about this. And like I said, if it goes to zero, if there's a bug, if there's like some craziness, bug or something else happens to it, you can't transact on it as an American citizen. Not to say that that's even ever going to be a thing, because it is decentralized, but let's just say it is. Then yeah, I will pack up shop and I'll be like, dude, yeah, that was my bad. I made a bad call. I got into Hex. I've talked about 3 coins and it didn't do well, and now it's a 0. Sorry. See you guys later. Click delete all social medias, and I'm done on the internet, right? But a lot of these guys will just shill you something. They'll wait for the rug pull, or they get rug pulled on, and then they'll be on to the next one 2 days later. Hey, but have you heard of this one? Right? Penis? Oh, geez. Yes, the pen is mightier than the star. Okay. Charles is generally a good guy. He just got it wrong with the latest comments. I know he hates Bitcoin maxis, so I like that. Yeah, I mean, I think that I think he's buddied up to some of these higher up people that are, regulators and stuff, and maybe he just doesn't like Hex because of what he's heard. Yeah, so Bitcoin maxis are annoying, and same with, people say, oh, Richard Hart maxis are, but most of the Richard Hart maxis are like David Feder, right? Like, I'm not saying that there's nobody out there that's like, you have to be in Hex or you're a piece of shit. Like, I'm not saying that there's nobody, but it's very, very few of Richard Hart maxis that are just like out there vigilant. And maybe I'm on the, but I just don't see it anymore. Like 2 years ago, you could have seen it all day, but we were in a different spot. Now it's like, I don't really see a whole lot of Richard Hart maxis. Most of it is, and most Richard Hart maxis are like, do whatever you want, dude. I don't care. It's your money. But yeah, it's all eyes on products. Helps people look into and through the FUD. Yeah. Stay unemployed so you don't get sick. Yeah, well, I'm already kind of on the sick end. I just had surgery yesterday. Let's see. PDI has 10x to 100x potential. The chart looks so good. Well, PDI can't do 100x if it's planning on getting pegged, right? So I don't know about that. It's like a 70 or 80x, sure. Not saying that it couldn't go past the $1, but then it's like, what? But yeah, not 100x. And I hope PDI pegs. Okay, for anybody that hates, again, Richard Hart maxi. I'm not a maximalist that's like a vigilant maximalist, but I'm somebody that's like in those core coins, and I'm only going to talk about those. I hope PDI pegs because I think that it'll help the entire ecosystem. I've already said that it'll probably get a 20 or 30% chance of doing that. People hate me for saying that, but that's just my opinion, right? Let's see. Finn Bear, have you moved out of Richard's castle in Finland, or is he hiding in your mother? Ooh, dang. Oops, I accidentally staked 5,500. Yeah, hopefully you did it for grandma too. Did your bottom surgery go well? Yeah, it hurt, man. Dude, last night I was hurting. Yesterday, that's why I didn't stream. I was going to stream early morning, but they kept moving my surgery up, and it got really early in the morning, and then I got home, and they put me under general anesthesia, and I was not about to stream. I was having a rough time. But now I've got this donut pillow underneath me. I'm on some really, really hard things, the things. So I'm doing okay right now. But I'll probably wrap it up here soon too. Why would anyone only grab the core coins and not a couple of memes? Probably because they've seen what happens with the meme coins. I don't know. I mean, that's what I do. But I also don't, like, I'm not running to the next new thing, right? I don't care if people do. That's fine with me too. Hope you're feeling better. You look like it. Thanks, man. Thanks. I've got another, I probably have another surgery coming up soon too. So that won't be fun. That one's actually worse. Feeling pretty already? Yeah. Hexo, are you staking after you end a stake? Would be good to see you restake. Well, it just depends. I will restake, but it depends on how long the length is. And, you know, am I staking all of it? No, I'm planning on getting a little bit, which I think a lot of people are. So that's the thing, right? Nobody stakes for a year anymore, even. From what I've seen on the staker bot, nobody stakes. So everybody's just looking to exit, which is, in my opinion, a good thing, because I think that most people have already exited. Most people with big bags have already exited. Not saying all, but the more you get all these people out and they're not staking, guess what? If you are staked, which I have a lot of staked, you know, at one point I was 100% staked for a long time. And, you know, what did that do to me? Well, you know, I heard somebody saying, would you have rather exited all of your HEX at the top or been staked and just get the APY? And, you know, and I have to agree with them that I would have rather sold at the top than have been staked 100%, right? Like, I think that staking is one of those things that if you shouldn't have all of your eggs in that whole basket in just staking. Because when we do get up to 50 cents, guess what? You don't have anything to sell. And I didn't have anything to sell. Not that I was going to anyway, because I was in deep. But yeah, I've got some that I want to cash out when we do get up to you know, certain price points. I'm glad your wife didn't want to try anything new in the bedroom. Oh, glad you are better. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Oh, yeah. With the with my butt surgery. Thanks. Yeah. Me too. Wouldn't have been going good. Let's see where we at. We just keep on getting those red candles, huh? Hex streamers were more fun before they all collabed and started infighting. Yeah, that's why I kind of just do my own thing, right? A lot of people have backstabbed. A lot of people have done things that I don't think that are moral, in my opinion. So it's just like, that's why I stream by myself. That's why I used to do a lot of collab streams and hanging out with other Hexkins, and a lot of them turned out to be people that are gonna stealth mine a coin, and then, you know, after a month of stealth mining the coin and buying it all up, then they go, look at my new coin, guys, and they tell you, and then it, you know, does like a 20x from there because they're not buying anymore, and then they're waiting for it, and then they just start dumping on you, and then you can see the chart go 99, 100% down, and they're like, it's still good, we're still up 30x. It's like, yeah, you sold all of yours, dude. If ETH fixes the shit, yeah. Staking ladders work for me. You just can't let your portfolio trackers trick you. Yeah. How can you hate some without getting the facts? At least get all the facts straight. True. Do you consider EHEX a core coin? Yes. I think the EHEX is one of those that I think could really surprise everybody. You know how easy it would be? I mean, I don't know what the actual liquidity is, if this is the actual liquidity. But you know how easy it would be to pump the crap out of EHEX with only $159,000 of liquidity? Pretty easy, dude. Pretty easy. You get $1 million into EHEX. I think that like 100x's it. Maybe not. Maybe 40x's it. I can't remember the exact, like 20. We'll just say 20x. Be pretty crazy. That's if nobody sells. Obviously, there's probably lots of people selling. But EHEX is one of those that nobody has any left, because most of the people that were going to get out of EHEX, they already sold, right? Like they thought it was just a shit coin, so they're just like, I'm selling it. I think EHEX has a potential to run really hard at some point. When you build a ladder for HEX, build based on the cycles. This is done so you have a liquid ready for the bull run. The market is psychological mindshare. Build it accordingly. True. Are you restaking your end stakes, Hexo, or are you cashing out? Well, I haven't cashed out anything for like 2 years, so that's all I'll say, right? I haven't cashed anything out for 2 years. Do I restake? Yes, some of it. but I don't cash out like a crazy amount either. I haven't cashed out, like I said, for 2 years. And guess what? I'm getting a job, so I don't have to cash out any. So I can not even look at the hex price, look at the hex chart, and just be on my merry way. Is EHEX hex version of Ethereum? No, EHEX is hex on Ethereum. There's 2 hexes because we had a fork. Pulsechain was the fork, and it split it, and it literally copied every single coin on Ethereum. So Frey Contreras, Contreras. If you had, let's say, Chainlink at the time of the fork, which was in 2023 of May, you have, if you were holding Chainlink, you have Chainlink over on Pulsechain too. So all of your coins that were on Ethereum are now over here. So so we call P-Hex, or some of us just call it Hex, is the Pulsechain Hex, but there is an E-Hex, which is the Ethereum Hex. It's the Hex Classic, which I do think that we should call it Hex Classic so we can stop confusing people. But it does make it to where it almost is like an ETH Classic, to where it's like, oh, well, don't get into that one. That one, kind of how an ETH Classic is, but whatever. Still have all my EHEX just in case. Exactly. Everyone looning to leave left the day before yesterday. True. Looking to leave? Yeah. What will Richard's wallet be called? Heart wallet? I don't know. I hope he names it something. This is the thing. I think that people that are in the community are going to have always a hard time shilling anything, including wallets, to anybody. I know that Internet Money has, they've reached out to me and they want me to talk about their wallet, and I'm fine with a new wallet. The thing is I and a lot of other people that are in Pulsechain have a hard time trusting new things, and especially a wallet. A wallet's one of those things that it's like, you better trust this guy with your money, right? We're trusting, and I know he's done audits and stuff like that, which is great. But that's the I think that why people are like, I'm not using that. I would just rather use Rabby, and I use Rabby wallet. If I use MetaMask because I don't want to switch over my seed phrase to a new wallet. So that's why I still use MetaMask. Unfortunately, if I was going to switch over and I wanted to put my seed phrase into a new wallet, I would put it into Rabby. But I still use MetaMask, unfortunately, because it's an awful wallet. Yeah, 50,000 sell of EHEX on Ethereum into USDC takes 50% slippage, and you get $26,000. Dang, that's crazy. That sounds good. Hex Classic. Yeah, Hex Classic. I mean, we can come up with a better name than Hex Classic, I think. Something better than Hex Classic, but we need to rename it other than EHEX because people just get confused. Just move to Rabby, the best. Also fart. Okay. Yeah, Rabby is awesome, dude. Rabby is really cool. You can get multiple wallets, and you can switch them on and off, which I think is pretty cool. So, rear gasket. Yeah, I had my rear gasket repaired yesterday. And by the way, it wasn't the actual, the hole. It was the side of the hole that I got repaired because something's going on with Crohn's, where it with Crohn's it digged a different hole somewhere else and then left a little tiny hole close to my hole. If you guys want to know, so that's what they were repairing on me, and it freaking hurts right now. Rabby is great. Agreed, Hexo. Still blacklisted on Dexes. No. Are you talking about Hex or EHEX? So if you go to uniswap.org, they are going to still blacklist it. If you're talking about Hex, see, you can't trade it. Oh, you can actually bring it up though. It's funny that it's the wrong price, but they don't trade it. You can't actually trade. You can't trade this token on Uniswap, but ETHHEX.com. So ETHHEX.com. You can still use it. It's the same exact thing. It's just a different front end for Uniswap. So ETHHEX.com if you're gonna use or if you want to trade your EHEX or your Hex Classic. Useless for short-term stakes. What's that? D-Bank calls it Hex, and P-Hex is the fork. Yeah, I've seen that. Okay, so it's blacklisted on the main one still. Yeah, one thinks. Yeah, no problem. I mean, And hopefully at some point, you know, if the SEC case gets finished up, maybe they stop doing that. I don't think that they will. I think that they still blacklist it because they have, like, you know, they can. But glad we're doing this other thing. Hexo, well, holeologist. Yeah, I know all about my hole. Hexo got the freckle fix. Yeah. Give me my freckle fix. Stop making me laugh, dude. Dude, it hurts every time I laugh. A wallet takes a lot of trust, like you said. It's good for the ecosystem to have more than one wallet. Rabby and Internet Money are doing good. RH wallet would be the 3 I would use. Yeah, and I mean exactly. It's not just a lot of trust. It's like all of your trust. And Rabby wallet is one that's like it's not part of our community. And we've seen people that have been in our community, and we know, you know, when you're around somebody, it's kind of like when your parents. This is how I look at it. When you shill Hex or Pulse Chain to your parents, they kind of look at you like, oh, okay, oh, little Hexo, you know, tussling your hair. Little Hexo got into something, huh? Oh, good boy. You're, you know, because they think of you as like a 16-year-old kid that's an idiot, right? At least my parents do. And that's how I look at, you know, and I feel like that's how the Hex or the Pulse Chain ecosystem looks at anybody that's in the ecosystem that's around, where it's like, dude, we know who you are. You're not making, you know, I'm not getting into your thing because we already know who you are or whatever. Like if I came out with a new wallet, you guys would be like, do you know anything about wallets? Oh yeah, I've had it audited. And you know, you're kind of throwing your trust in that that I did all of this stuff, and then you're trusting that I don't, you know, just take all of your money or seed phrases or anything like that. Paul Sachs, thank you for the $5 for your suppository and cream fund, Hex. Hey, thank you. That's suppository fund is getting pretty pretty low. I'm gonna need all those those donations as quickly as possible. Grabby plus feet. I don't know what that is. Ye old squid beak needed some repairs. Yeah. Oh, my squid beak. I don't know what my squid beak is, but yeah, the other end is fine. Okay, the other end. I mean, I still have an inverted wiener, but you know, I can figure that out. So, you know, I can get an enlargement. We just need to pump Hex. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got. You know, I've been here for an hour and a half. My beehole is not feeling that good. I will be here tomorrow. You guys are great. Don't worry about the FUD. Charles Hoskinson, let's tone down the attacks. If he's saying wrong things, I do think that we should correct him. But you know, attacking the guy or whatever, he thinks that we're attacking him by correcting him. I don't understand it. Because I don't see anything that's there that's like your thing's a piece of trash, Cardano, or you know, I mean, maybe he thinks this is an attack, which possibly it is. He has me blocked anyway. So, but yeah, Nuclear Areas even pointed out, given that that it's interesting that the SEC went after Coinbase for selling Cardano, which it considers a security, isn't it? So they did put that on one of their case, or on the case, the transcripts, that they're trying to each of these crypto asset securities further described below with the trading symbol Cardano. They even consider Solana a security, Matic, whatever any of these are. Those are securities according to their filing with with Coinbase. So I don't understand why these don't have a Wells notice against them. Not that I want that. I think that it's not, you know, crypto should be labeled something new. But if you look at Cardano, it is pretty weird that they get a pass, and that the founder gets to come on streams and do exactly what Richard Hart was doing, you know, just talking to people, and they get the pass. But good old Hex and Bullchain, no. He has $12 million of watches, or a Hex diamond, so that means it's a security. Nah, I kind of attacked him. Okay, dude, you guys gotta stop making me laugh. Let's see. Stream through the pain. Oh, I've been streaming through the pain. All right, you guys have a great one. I will see you guys tomorrow. You guys are lovely people, and you know, keep doing what you guys do. Guerrilla tactics are working. Guerrilla marketing is working. So don't let Charles Hoskinson deter you from getting out there and getting the word out there. Right. Our whole ecosystem should be 4 or 5x soon, and we'll change the mood. Let's hope. Let's hope. Let's pray for Hexo so that he doesn't get addicted to painkillers. Yeah, that's one. I think today will be the last time I take those. I got like 5 days worth, but today is probably my last day of taking them. So you guys have a great one. I'll see you guys tomorrow. You guys are great.